Rabies is a vaccine-preventable viral disease which occurs in more than 150 countries and territories. It causes tens of thousands of deaths every year, mainly in Asia and Africa, 40% of whom are children under 15 years of age. Dogs are the main source of human rabies deaths, contributing up to 99% of all rabies transmissions to humans. Rabies can be prevented through vaccination of dogs and prevention of dog bites. After a potential exposure of people to a rabid animal, they can seek post-exposure prophylaxis, PEP, which consists of immediate, thorough wound washing with soap and water for 15 minutes, a series of rabies vaccinations and, if indicated, administration of rabies immunoglobulin or monoclonal antibodies, which can be life-saving. Globally, rabies causes an estimated cost of $8.6 billion per year. A One Health approach assures the engagement of multiple sectors and local communities to build awareness and conduct mass dog vaccination campaigns. Rabies is a vaccine-preventable, zoonotic, viral disease affecting the central nervous system. Once clinical symptoms appear, rabies is virtually 100% fatal. In up to 99% of cases, domestic dogs are responsible for rabies virus transmission to humans. Yet, rabies can affect both domestic and wild animals. It spreads to people and animals via saliva, usually through bites, scratches, or direct contact with mucosa, e.g. eyes, mouth, or open wounds. Children between the age of 5 and 14 years are frequent victims. Rabies is present on all continents except Antarctica, with over 95% of human deaths occurring in Asia and Africa. However, rabies cases are rarely reported and registered numbers differ greatly from the estimated burden. Rabies is one of the neglected tropical diseases, NTD, that predominantly affects already marginalized, poor and vulnerable populations. Although effective human vaccines and immunoglobulins exist for rabies, these are often not readily available or accessible to those in need. Managing a rabies exposure, where the average cost of rabies post-exposure prophylaxis, PEP, is currently estimated at an average of $108, along with travel costs and loss of income, can be a catastrophic financial burden on affected families whose average daily income may be as low as $12 per person. Every year, more than 29 million people worldwide receive PEP. This is estimated to prevent hundreds of thousands of rabies deaths annually. Globally, the economic burden of dog-mediated rabies is estimated at $8.6 billion per year, in addition to uncalculated psychological trauma for individuals and communities. Prevention. Eliminating rabies in dogs. Rabies is a vaccine-preventable disease. Vaccinating dogs, including puppies, is the most cost-effective strategy for preventing rabies in people because it stops the transmission at its source. Moreover, dog vaccination reduces the need for PEP. Education on dog behavior and bite prevention for both children and adults is an essential extension of rabies vaccination programs and can decrease both the incidence of human rabies and the financial burden of treating dog bites. Immunization of people. Very effective vaccines are available to immunize people after an exposure, as PEP, or before an exposure to rabies. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP, is recommended for people in certain high-risk occupations, such as laboratory workers handling live rabies and rabies-related viruses, and people whose professional or personal activities might lead to direct contact with bats or other mammals that may be infected with rabies, such as animal disease control staff and wildlife rangers. PrEP might be indicated also for outdoor travelers and people living in remote, highly rabies endemic areas with limited local access to rabies biologics. Symptoms. The incubation period for rabies is typically 2-3 months but may vary from 1 week to 1 year, depending on factors such as the location of virus entry and the viral load. Initial symptoms of rabies include generic signs like fever, pain, and unusual or unexplained selected